What is something you only notice when it's bad? City government. Yep. I live somewhere with awful city government. Undefined. You're going to have to narrow that down greatly. We live in a society. Brakes on your car. Nothing like slowly pressing on the brakes as you approach a red light to hear the demons scratching on a chalkboard. One time I was driving my father's car. But when I pressed on the brakes nothing happened and the car crashed. I was driving by myself. So I had no actual proof that the brakes didn't work. Both of my parents insisted that it was my fault. And they just wouldn't even consider the possibility that it was the brakes. I should mention that I wasn't injured. And I hit a rock which was big enough to stop the car. Bad brakes are quite easy to spot. Even after most crashes. A lie. Good one. Main reason why it took my some time to notice. Tap water. Air quality. Basically infrastructure. We take it for granted. But it takes 24/7 maintenance. Electricity. Water. Roads. Food distribution. Internet. Etc. You only notice when the roads are bad because they haven't been serviced. When the internet is slow. When the grocery store has few supplies. When the water is funky. When the power goes out. Considering like 3/4 of my city is out of power, heat, and internet right now due to 2 ice storms trees power lines. This is quite true at the moment. Fellow Texan. Howdy. Howdy back friend. Please stay safe. Audio sync to video. Absolutely horrendous when it's off by just a fraction of a second from seeing the mouth move to hearing the sound before the mouth moves. Similar to this. When the closed captions are also off by a sentence. I use CC to fill in the gaps of what I didn't hear properly. And seeing the mouth move separately from the audio and then trying to read the captions that don't match and keep track of what is going on is headache inducing. Yet I had this watching a show on Netflix recently. It's called Kingdom and I think it's Korean. The dubbed voices obviously don't match the actors' mouth movements but the CC doesn't even match what the English dub says. It really threw me off until I just decided to put the language to whatever the native was and read the subtitles fully. I only ever watch foreign stuff subbed for this reason. Not be a weeb. But subbed is better anyway in my opinion. I'd rather hear the original actor's emotion and read the subtitles to understand them. I've watched a few Korean/Japanese/French/Spanish movies/shows where the English dub is garbage. No emotion or worse. The wrong emotion to the point that it's laughable. Most recently happened with a French movie I was watching on Netflix. Plus the subs are often written for the original and not the dub. Unless that dub studio offers the subs as well. Also I have no idea what a good actor sounds like in any language than English, so it could literally be the worst acting anyone in that country has ever heard and it would sound just fine to me. Your appendix. Too soon, I got appendicitis last year. Your health. A tooth. The tooth hurts. You can't handle the tooth. Film editing. I recently became friends with someone who is attending film school. She opened my eyes to things I wish I never knew. Now every time I watch a movie I just notice all the bad stuff and it ruins it. I always notice these and I forget the technical name. But making sure an object is in the same spot through different cuts. I.e. if a coffee cup was full and handle was on the right side. The next day of filming, making sure the coffee cup is full and handle on the right side. Continuity. As someone who works as an editor, albeit not on dramas, a lot of the time I notice the bad continuity, but by the time it's in the edit suite it's far too late and there's no option but to make the best of it. CGI. Bad CGI can completely ruin a scene/movie. Good CGI, you'd never even think twice about it. Just wait 10 years and your good CGI may be bad CGI. Unless you're talking about the original Jurassic Park. How was it so good? It was assisted greatly by practical effects. I think the rain in a lot of the scenes helped to smooth things over too. True. But on the other hand, it caused serious problems with the full-scale animatronic T-Rex puppet. The skin kept getting so saturated with rainwater that it was too heavy for the motors to move the rig and the T-Rex would just start shuddering. Crew members had to dry it with towels in between takes. Hey. What do you do for a living? Oh. I dry off a T-Rex when it gets wet from standing outside in the rain. Best job ever. I'm a dino fluffer. Tap water. This is why I'm glad I'm back on well water that's not really hard water. I grew up with well water, and the short time I lived in town I couldn't stand having to drink city water. Hell, even the local Chinese restaurant, I can't stand their rice because it always tastes like the over-chlorinated city water. Ugh. My well water is very, very hard. It also smells of sulfur, as does everyone's on my street. Internet speeds. I hate when it buffers on the dude's vinegar face. Forever unclean. Subtitles. When you're used to seeing subtitles, you rarely notice them when they're accurate. As soon as they're bad, it's hard to focus on anything else. Subtitles are a huge problem in Spanish, because most media that gets translated to Spanish has two dubs. One for Spain and one for Latin America. But they usually only make the subtitles for the Spain one. And you end up with subtitles saying completely different stuff. It makes me go bonkers. And is one of the reasons I learned English. You only notice plot holes and inconsistencies when a film is bad. A good movie with plot holes can be forgiven as long as it doesn't break your immersion in the story. When a bad movie loses you, you tend to look for other things to focus on besides the story. Hence nitpicking. You only notice plot holes and inconsistencies when a film is bad. A good movie with plot holes can be forgiven as long as it doesn't break your immersion in the story. Yup. Raiders of the Lost Ark has a ton of really bad/strange plot holes. Did he really ride a submarine the whole way? But it's awesome. So things are forgiven. I will address that specific plot hole. It was a World War II submarine. And early World War II as well. Which means that it would operate on the surface unless it was at risk of air attack. Performing an attack. Or doing a hydrophone check. Don't get me wrong. They should have submerged at some point. But it is a possibility that they didn't. The bigger question is, why the hell didn't the bridge crew see him? Abuse. Everyone asks why someone would stay with an abusive partner, but 99% of the time the abuse comes in spurts and the rest of the time is fine. Abusive partners aren't abusive all the time. Trauma bonding. It's a real bitch. The good times are great. But the abuse is temporary. The ebbs and flows with the abuse and love. It's soul breaking. Too. I think we're conditioned to want it too. A love story doesn't make an interesting movie unless there's drama, death, danger, etc. I find myself thinking a lot. Well, maybe someday I'll love someone like that again. But it'll never be as exciting as it was. Some combination of media and our own thrill-seeking wants something exciting over something healthy. Once you've had that intense trauma bonding, it's hard to snap out of it. Some combination of media and our own thrill-seeking wants something exciting over something healthy. That's what a lot of people have been conditioned to believe is normal. One of the reasons I had to give up on a former friend was her wildly unstable relationships. She alternated between abusive guys and ones she could push around. Romance didn't feel real to her unless turmoil was involved. I just couldn't stomach the drama anymore. Your nose when you're sick and congested? Being able to breathe clearly is great. Or good eyesight. It's a blessing to be able to see without external aids. Have worn glasses and contacts ever since I was a kid and wish I knew what that was like, but too afraid of laser surgery. You don't want laser eyes? IT support. The best IT is the one you don't know about. IT works perfect? Then why are we paying you if nothing is wrong? Broken. Why are we paying you if it's not working? There's an old book called The Paradox of Excellence that does a great job of illustrating this issue. Feedback from people. 99 people could compliment you. And one person could say something negative. And you'll dwell on the negative comment.
Hey guys, if you like this video then smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more contents like this. And don't forget to press that bell icon to get notified for future videos. Thanks for watching. Click here to see more videos.